Hello students, today we are going to discuss contract of agency and types of agents. First of all, definition of agency in Indian Contract Act. So according to Indian Contract Act, agency is a contract which creates a connection between principal and agent. So agency is a relationship of principal and agent. According to section 182 of the Indian Contract Act of 1872, it defines the term agent and principal as agent is a person who is employed to do any act for another or to represent another in dealings with the third persons. So the person for whom such act is completed or who is so represented is known as principal. It means the person who is employed is known as agent and person for whom agent is employed is known as principal. So the contract of agency is a two-party relationship in which one person acts as the representative of the another. In the business dealings, in order to create contractual relationships between that other person and the third persons. So basically the contract of agency is a relationship of principal and agent in which agent acts for the principal with the third persons and deal with the third persons in the business dealings or business transactions under contractual relations. So next is the essentials of contract of agency. There are basically three essentials of a contract of agency. Firstly, agreement. In any contract, agreement is essential. So in a contract of agency, there is a agreement between principal and agent. So the two parties to the agreement of contract of agency are principal and agent. The second one is consideration is not necessary. The second essential of a contract of agency is that consideration is not necessary or required in a contract of agency. It means, like any other contract where the consideration is the requirement, under a contract of agency, consideration is not required or not necessary. The third essential for the contract of agency is that intention to act on behalf of the principal by the agent. So here there is a intention on the part of agent to act for the principal, and when agent enters into a contract for himself, then principal will not be liable. It means when an agent is acting for himself, he is not acting as an agent of the principal and so he is not liable. Next is the classification of agents. So there are basically three classes of agents that are known as general agents, special agents and mercantile agents. So general agents, special agents, mercantile agents, and under all these three types, sub-agents can also be appointed whenever allowed under the law. So what are the general agents or meaning of general agent? When a principal appoints a general agent to do anything within his authority in all transactions or in all transactions relating to specific trade, business or matter. The principal grants the authority to the agent to act on his behalf. It means principal has appointed an agent to do a journal act or to do all the things on behalf of principal. Further, it may be assumed under the appointment of journal agent that the third party may assume that such an agent has the authority to do all that is usual for a journal agent to do. Any private restrictions on the agent's authority do not affect the third party. It means if a person has appointed a journal agent, or we can say that if principal has appointed a journal agent, in that case his authority cannot be restricted by the private restrictions. It means principal cannot put on the journal agent any private restrictions. If he has appointed a journal agent, it means he has all the powers to do all the transactions in relation to the specific trade, business or matter with regard to which principal has appointed such journal agent. So next is special agent. The second category of the agents, or the second type of agent, is special agent. Special agent is the one who is appointed or employed to do or to perform only specific act, task or function. Only specific act, task or function. It means a special agent is appointed to do special act, task or function. It means he has limited authority, he has not power to do all the transactions relating to the principal or on behalf of principal. Outside this special act, task or function that is specifically enshrined on the special agent, he has, it means the special agent has no authority or power to do any other act on behalf of the principal. The third parties cannot assume that agent has unlimited authority. It means in case of general agent, third parties can assume that agent is authorized to do all the acts on behalf of the principal, whereas in case of special agent, third parties cannot assume that agent has unlimited authority. It means special agent has only authority to do the special act or the specific acts. Thus, any act of the agent, that is the special agent, outside his authority cannot bind the principal. It means principal is not liable for the acts done by an agent appointed by him if such an agent commits or does any act outside his authority or power that has been given to him by the principal. The third category is of mercantile agents. As per section 2, subsection 9 of the Sale of Goods Act 1930, a mercantile agent is the person who in the customary course of business has an agent's authority. It means he is not appointed as an agent, but he has the authority of an agent in the course of business, and that is by the customary nature of that business, either to sell or consign the goods for the purpose of sale, or to buy the goods, or to raise money on the security of the goods. And these are factors, brokers, debt creditor agents, bankers, partners, auctioneers, commissioned agents. So, under mercantile agents, factor, broker, debt creditor agent, bankers, partners, auctioneers and commissioned agents are known as mercantile agents. So So mercantile agent is a person who has the authority to do on the behalf of principal to do all the acts regarding the goods that has been put in his possession or under his power, and principal has authorized him to sell or to buy such goods on the behalf of principal. So what is factor? Factor is a type of del creditory agents or the mercantile agents. So factor is a person who is appointed to sell goods. Appointed to sell goods and which are put in his possession. It means such a mercantile agent who is known as factor, he has the possession of the goods or to buy goods for his principal. If the goods are put in his possession for the purpose of sale, or if he is authorized to buy goods for his principal, then we can call such an agent as factor. He is the evident owner of the goods in his custody and he can thus sell them in his own name and receive payment for them. It means when an agent is put in the possession of the goods, he has authority like the owner of the goods in his custody and thus he can sell those goods in his own name. It means that though the goods are of the principal, he can sell those goods as his own name, or it means that he can sell that these goods are of mine. Further, he can also receive the goods he can also receive the payment for those goods which he has sold on the behalf of principal. Further, the factor also has an insurable interest in the goods in his custody and he has also a right of journal lien regarding any claim that he may have to arise out of the agency. It means any factor, he has insurable interest on the goods regarding which he is put in the possession by the principal. Further, he is also have right of lien. It means he can retain the goods which have been put in his custody or in his possession by the principal, and he can claim his due from the principal and exercise his right to lien, and he can retain the goods till the payment has been done by the principal. So next type of mercantile agent is broker. So what is a broker? A broker is a person whose business is to make contracts. It means broker is a person who does a business of contracts, to make contracts with the other parties and for the purpose of sale and purchase of goods or securities. So basically broker is a person who does the business of sale and purchase of goods or securities for other persons. He makes contracts for the other persons and do the business of sale and purchase of goods. A broker does not have the possession of the goods. Like factor, broker is not having the possession of the goods and he acts in the name of the principal. He does not act on his own name. He cannot sell or purchase goods in his own name. Also, the broker has no right of lien over the goods because he does not have the possession of the goods. Like factor, he cannot exercise the right of lien and he cannot compel the principal for the payments due by the principal. So, broker is different from factor in the nature that he does not have the possession of the goods. He cannot act on the behalf of principal on his own name, and he cannot exercise a right of lien over the goods of the principal. The third type of mercantile agent is declaratory agents. Declaratory agent is a person who ensures or guarantees his principal that the creditors of the goods will pay for the goods they buy for extra remuneration. It means declaratory agent, he ensures principal and guarantees him that extra remuneration will be paid for the goods. In case of failure to pay by the third parties, such declaratory agent, he needs to pay the due amount to his principal. It means if any loss is occurred to the principal, declaratory agent will pay the loss to the principal out of his own pocket, because he has guaranteed or ensured the principal that the third party or the creditor will pay extra remuneration. So next is bankers. Generally, the relationship of banker and the customer is of debtor and the principal. However, when banker buys or sells securities and collects check, bill of exchange, promissory notes on behalf of customer, then he becomes agent of the customer. Banker has a right of lien. It means he has general lien on the securities in his possession regarding the general balance due to him by the customer. It means when customer doesn't pay to the banker, he can exercise right of lien over the checks, over the bill of exchange, promissory note, or other things that has been put in his possession by the customer. So next type of mercantile agent is partners. So according to the Partnership Act of 1932, every partner is an agent as well as principal of every other partner in a partnership firm. It means every partner of a partnership firm is also agent and also the principal. Also, every partner is the agent of the firm for the purposes of the business of the firm. It means every partner is the agent. He acts for the other partners as well as he acts for the firm. In that case, we can say that under the Partnership Act or under the partnership firm, every partner is the agent and every partner is the principal also. The next type of mercantile agent is auctioneers. An auctioneer is a person who sells the goods by auction or in a public auction. What is auction? An auction is the process by which goods are sold to the highest bidder in the public competition. Process by which goods are sold to the highest bidder in a public competition is known as auction, and the person who officiates such auction is known as the auctioneer. So, auctioneer is the agent of the seller. He is the agent of the seller until the goods are auctioned or knocked down. जब तक कि goods बेचे नहीं जाते हैं, it means when the goods are not sold. Until the goods are not auctioned, agent remains the agent of seller. However, after the auction or after the knockdown of the goods, such an auctioneer becomes the agent of the buyer. It means after the auction, the same agent becomes the agent of buyer. It means the principal changes in the case of auctioneer. The next type of mercantile agent is commission agent. A commission agent is a mercantile agent who buys or sells goods for his principal. So, an agent who buys or sells goods for his principal for the best possible terms in his own name and receives commission for his services. It means an agent who receives extra commission for his services towards the principal, and such agent is authorized to do any act regarding the sale of those goods on the name of his principal. He becomes the commissioned agent. He may have the possession of the goods or he may not have the possession of the goods. So next type of agents we can say is the sub-agent. As per section 191 of the Indian Contract Act, sub-agent is a person employed by and acting under the control of the original agent. Thus, a sub-agent is the agent of the original or the primary agent. He is the agent of the original or the primary agent. It means when an original or primary agent appoints his agent to do the act of the principal, he becomes the sub-agent. The original agent appoints a sub-agent and delegates his works regarding the principal to such sub-agent. It means original agent appoints sub-agent. A principal does not appoint sub-agent. It is the original agent who appoints sub-agents and delegates the functions of the principal to such sub-agent. The relationship between the sub-agent and the original agent is that of agent and principal. In that case, the person original agent who appoints sub-agent becomes the principal of the sub-agent. A sub-agent is confined by all the duties of the original agent. Confined by all the duties of the original agent. However, the sub-agent is not directly responsible to the principal. Only in the exceptional cases when he commits any fraud or willful wrong. It means an sub-agent is not responsible to the principal, but he becomes responsible to the principal only in exceptional cases, such as when he commits any fraud or when he commits any willful wrong. In that case, a sub-agent becomes responsible towards the principal also. But he is directly responsible to the original agent. It means a sub-agent who is appointed by the original agent, he always remains liable or responsible to the original agent. Original agent means the agent appointed by the principal. Next, the original agent is responsible for the acts of the sub-agent to the principal. It means any person or any agent or original agent who appoints sub-agents, he always remains liable or responsible for the acts of his sub-agents regarding the principal. It means any sub-agent appointed by the original agent, if he commits any wrong, he commits any fraud, he commits any act, it means the original agent is always liable or responsible for the acts of his sub-agent regarding the principal. Next, in the case of third parties, sub-agent represents principal. It means whenever a sub-agent deals with the third parties, he represents principal. It means he does not represent the original agent. He represents principal and thus buys or binds principal for his acts as if he is an original agent. It means a third party, from a point of view of third parties, there is no distinction between the original or between the sub-agent. It means original agent and sub-agent, the capacity is similar if we see the agents from the point of view of third parties. It means whether it is sub-agent, whether it is original agent, they all remain liable for the third parties. Whenever they deal for the principal with the third parties, they all are liable. So this is all about the contract of agency and types of contracts. Thank you.